All right, I am here to talk about UDL and my implementation on step 4. Instead of writing a ton, I figured it would be easier to make a video. So traditionally, the phonics lesson would go, I would dictate sounds with pictures that correspond. So I, the teacher, would lead the group, and the group would be sitting at their desk, and they would echo after me, J, jug, jug. And I would go through about 10 different cards, and then I would dictate some trick words, and they would write those, they'd skywrite them. And then I would dictate whatever we were focusing on, and they would either use their whiteboard or their magnet tiles, and they'd build those words followed by a worksheet. So that's our standard lesson, and I decided to amp it up with some UDL. So first off, I have the students do the dictating, and this is all randomly picked. So now that we're a ways into the school year, they're all familiar. The students also get to choose, so that incorporates student choice. If their name is picked and they don't want to, they can just say pass, someone else does it. Also, I encourage students to come up with different motions for every sound. So, Q-U, queen, qua, and then they all pretend to be a queen. They all can stand up or sit down while we go through the dictation, and it allows me, the teacher, to sit back and let the students run the classroom. So, that's the first part of the lesson, and then after they're done with that, because my students are so fidgety, it might be time for me to talk about the different UDL resources I use to combat that. First off, we have stress balls, and this is great for certain students. We have these. I love these. They don't make much noise. I have them around a lot of the chairs, and students can kind of fidget with this with their feet. This is great. As you see behind me, all of this adaptive seating. So if they need a bouncy seat, if they need a rocking seat, we have all of that. And maybe they're a little excited after they just had the student run dictation. So I like to do a lot of mindfulness. So I might just sit back, take a breath with them, deep breaths. I'm a little nervous doing this project. I'm videoing myself. Hold on. Put your hand on your stomach. I use this. And now we're going to breathe in through our nose. And then feel our stomachs expand, and then you're going to breathe out through your mouth. I'll play around with this and go breathe in through your nose, and then I'll have them puff a little bit. Just a little thing like that helps with the fidgetiness, the boredom. I might do that midway through a lesson, at the beginning, before the lesson starts. It all depends on my class, what they all need. So that's one way with the background knowledge. Now let's get to what I do to formatively assess them. So while they're doing the student run dictation, I'm writing words on the board. So that's already, and now we're going to cover our concept. So this just might help for those that aren't familiar with phonics. I'm going to scoop the words unsafe. So they're going to say it as I scoop it. Confuse, athlete. You'll notice a lot of that magic E. And then I will also be marking them up. So when I say mark up, for our magic E, we go vowel, consonant, E, and we practice it this way. So I'll model it first before they have to do anything. And instead of tapping out each sound, they're now tapping out syllables. So they're blending the syllables together. So that's me, more direct instruction after the student run. And now we're going to take out our gel pens. And I purposefully incorporate a lot of transitions into my classroom. And I'm going to have songs playing. So right now, a Magic E song will be playing. I added that to my lesson to help with the visuals and the song. That's going to help by the time the song's over. It's about a 50-second song. We all should have our magic pens out for our trick words. Okay, now I'm going to dictate our trick words, and they're going to write them in with their magic pen, and this helps build connections in their brain. They can erase it like this. I ask them to write it 3 times, and then I have another Magic E song that is a little longer, and then they'll record it into their student notebook. Now, this holds them accountable. This activates some background knowledge. Also, you see that chart behind me, activating background knowledge. And their student notebooks, they're allowed to use them during assessments. So this is going to help them succeed, and it really puts the learning in their hands. So we have a lot of visuals, we have a lot of transitions, we have different types of kinesthetic things that students have access to, and we always use that mindfulness. And then next, we're going to go into, and it helps with self-regulation. The songs help keep them on task and help the lesson move. The manipulatives, the next manipulatives, more manipulatives. Again, these are pre-cut, color-coded. So these will make words, and I purposefully have them different colors. One is purple, one is green. So it goes, one person gets the purple one, the person next to them gets the green one, so on. That's because, if I have my lists here, one is going to get these words, and one is going to get these words. Now, they can either work in pairs to try to match all the words, but they do know one desk should have one set of words, one desk should have the other. I kind of leave the pictures out because I don't love them that much. Or they can also choose to do one at a time and then look at each other's. Again, student choice. They don't have to collaborate, but I encourage them to collaborate, especially if they're struggling. So this is all formative assessment. If they finish early, I encourage them to make nonsense words using these pre-cut syllables, and then you will notice that the syllables are color-coded, so they quickly pick up that the yellow is going to be the last syllable and the blue is going to be the first syllable. So if they're not quite understanding what to do, that's a little trick that I can give them right away to activate that knowledge. Hey, make sure all your yellows are the final syllables. Oh, and then having their partner have totally different ones makes it so they're held accountable, but their partner's helping them. They have the option to work together. The goal is both of them get them all done. If they finish early, they then make nonsense words with their partner. So another manipulative. Now we're going to get into the summative assessment portion, and I hope I don't go too long. So after that is done, I can use the pictures if I liked them, but I don't like them that much. I'm walking around this whole time helping as needed, and it went fantastically. I wish I could have recorded the lesson, but unfortunately I couldn't have. So here's one of the summative assessments. I always model one for the class so they have an idea. So they see, okay, only mark up the bold words. So the class automatically gets that one right. And then I pass this out. I have a data sheet, and I evaluate it. If it's less than 80%, they can redo it. I think 3 students had to redo it. I also make notes in my data sheet. This is all part of my summative assessment in my data gathering. And then after that, they have a choice board. And after some feedback, I realized I could work on my being more specific and work on my assessments. So I think having the choice board and anything you see in black there, that incorporates technology. So I realized my class loves to work together and they love technology, so why don't I have more technology in this? In the choice boards, they can find magic keywords, make a story with magic keywords. They can go onto Starfall and do a word search with magic keywords. They can also go on to Starfall and create a word sort, or a word search, both of those. They know how to use the slideshows to make a poster, so they can make a slideshow with magic keywords, or they can do independent reading. And I have sticky notes of different colors, and every time they find a magic keyword, they can put it on the sticky note, mark it up, or a magic key syllable, and then I also have a poster board. So then we can review all of those words, and then we can use it to teach vocabulary, and we can talk about mistakes that may have been made in future lessons. I hope that made some sense. Hope I didn't go too fast or too long. And that is my part 4.